YouTube is... Am I going to need to turn this off for you to not look at yourself?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I won't. What am I supposed to look at?
The camera.
This.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Tarek Ali, and I'm here with one of my aunts.
Hello, YouTubers.
So you already know this is not a beauty vlog because one, I look a hot mess and rain got on my hair and it looks like an afro, but she looks great, so you could think it was about makeup, but it's not. I received some text messages from my aunt a couple weeks ago and I thought that I should bring them on camera instead of responding to her. A lot of different questions about our community in Pride Month that I would think a lot of black parents, not even just black parents, but a lot of parents don't know. So mind you, I am not a representation for every queer person in the world. Just like one black person can't answer for all the millions of black people in the world, I cannot answer for all the queer people in the world. I'm just here to give better understanding for all the parents out there who may have questions and may not understand what their child is going through, their neighbor is going through, even though that neighbor might not be your business. But to make this world a better place, it would be great if everyone, instead of condemning, tried to understand. So that's what this video is for, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Right, and I also, my philosophy is you don't know what you don't know, you don't know what you don't know. So what a better way than to have a conversation.
I love your TV voice.
My first question is, are you offended if someone says you live an alternative lifestyle?
That's a good question because a lot of people always say an alternative lifestyle. Am I offended by that? Yes, it is offensive. It's very hard to offend me, for one, because, you know, we've just been mistreated our whole lives. So it's just like, it takes a lot to offend us, but it is things that are offensive. So to say someone lives an alternative lifestyle, it's pretty much making someone feel different. And when someone feels different in a room full of people that are not like them, it's gonna make them feel very subconscious, very anxious. Some people think they're saying it and being nice. Like, oh, you live an alternative lifestyle, and I understand that. They just don't realize how that comes off.
So what is the correct way to say, because I think saying, oh, he's gay, or are you gay, or that just seems more offensive to me. So what would be the
So you feel like you're being offensive when you call someone like gay, or
because I don't feel like I should have to identify you. You're Tarek, you're John. Why does it have to be a term in which you identify someone other than who they are?
That is very true. So it isn't a good thing when you put labels on other people. I will say that, and that may be a reason that people do say alternative lifestyle. But if someone, you know, identifies themselves as gay, or they come out and say, yeah, I'm gay, or, you know, are openly talking about it, I would assume that they wouldn't be offended if, you know, you said, you know, he's gay. Like, just saying alternative lifestyle makes it seem secretive, and when something becomes secretive, it makes it seem like it's not something that's right. Something you keep from kids is usually something that's not right. So when you keep these things from kids, you keep it away from public conversations and saying an alternative lifestyle, it makes someone feel like they should live in the dark. And it makes them feel like they shouldn't be out loud. They should be in the corner. The real is real. If I've said I'm gay and everyone knows I'm gay, what's the problem with, you know, saying I'm gay? There's nothing wrong with the word gay. What's wrong is the way that people use it. Oh, that's gay. Oh, you're gay. Like, if you just say gay is what it is. I think it's just the connotation that people have put it in that's made it so offensive.
Now, you mentioned when we were doing the introduction, what is the difference between being gay and queer?
Okay, so queer and gay are the same thing. Okay. So pretty much, queer is an umbrella term for anything that is not. It's so funny because as I answer all these questions, you're gonna build up so many more questions. It's so funny. But anyway, queer is an umbrella term for anything that is not cisgender or heterosexual. These are the norms for society and for, you know, everything is a man and a woman, and acting and living in the gender of the sex you were born in. Okay. So that is the norm. So anything outside of that norm, pansexual, asexual, homosexual, you know, being gender queer, identifying as a gender that you weren't born with as a sex, those are things that are queer. Being gay is just homosexual. That's a sexuality, and that's the difference between those two.
Are there pockets of the community, or do you guys see yourselves as a unit, or is it becoming something that is becoming little sectors
I'm gonna put it in a way that I think it will help you more understand. Are all black people from America?
No.
So if you say someone's black, do you assume that they're from America?
No.
It's like black is the umbrella term, but there's Jamaican people, there's Guyanese people, there's, you know, people in Europe who are black. It's like that. It's like you're queer. We're all queer. But there's gay people and there's transgender people. There's, you know, it's like we're all in this one big thing together. Black is just the umbrella term.
Naturally, I guess, when I think about you and my other nieces and nephews who are gay, I want you guys to always be comfortable around me and in your environment. So I've never had any of you bring, that I know of, your significant others around. What is your expectation of us? Because it is different.
You know, that's a really subjective question for each person. And not something I could even answer for two people. Because me, I don't expect much. I don't really care. Like, the reason I've never brought a significant other over is because I've never had a significant other. And that's really, really, really why. And some people do it on purpose because maybe their family is tolerant of their lifestyle and their reality of being homosexual, but it's not accepting. It's more of a tolerance, you know? As long as you do this and that and it's not in my face, it's not there. It's like, you know, a lot of black parents say, you can be gay, but as long as you don't put on a wig and you do all this, it's like, it's just showing, you know, that judgment. And I think people would rather not have that judgment with someone they care deeply about, and you already kind of feel a little uncomfortable with just being yourself. So bringing someone else in it and putting it in people's face, you don't know the response you'll get. You don't know what people will think. Me personally, I don't care. If I had a significant other, if he would come to the events, he would, but I don't. So, but I think as far as the parents, what could you do? Is to let them know, you know, I support you. Just know that you can bring somebody over here. Like, I'm not gonna bite their head off. But you know, it is important for some parents to realize that what you say can be one thing, but your actions, not even when the question is asked or when you bring it up, is important. If you seem judgmental when it's not even brought up, they're not going to want to bring around their significant other. Because they know you're judgmental. So it's like they're assuming that if they bring somebody over, it's just not going to be a good time. It's just going to be uncomfortable. Even though you might not be rude, it'll be uncomfortable. And people don't want to feel uncomfortable.
Staying on that topic, if you could give one word of advice to a parent, what would it be in regards to their son or daughter coming to them for the first time, coming out? What would you tell them to do when that moment happens?
This is an interesting question because I don't even feel if it's so wrong for me to say because I'm not a parent. Because I didn't want a lot of parents to see this and be like, you know, he's a kid.
No, but sometimes as parents, we need to be able to hear what we need to hear needs to be said to us, if that makes sense to you. So,
you know, personally, you know, like I said, I've never been a parent, but I think as a parent, your kid should never have to come to you and tell you that they're gay. I mean, at some point it's a conversation to have, but if you've always been, how can I put this? You know, I've had some friends that didn't have to come out to their parents. I think you raise your kids in a way that you make them think they have to date the other sex. They feel like they have to come out because they're going against what you made them feel like they had to be.
Wow.
So if you didn't subjectify them to heterosexuality, if you didn't say, you know, you're gonna find a wife, you're gonna do this, you're gonna take care of a woman, that's what makes it so hard. Is because one, your parents are the most important people to you in your life for some people, and it's like they've been saying this the whole life, you know, this is something they really want. Is it something I want? It's going against what your whole life you were trained to be. Honestly, you're trained to be heterosexual. And it's like going against that, you know, I have friends that their parents weren't like that. It was an open, they never came out. Like my friend was like, wait, y'all had to come out? I'm like, okay, you had to know some people had to go. But he never came out. He just brought a boy home one day and his mom was like, hi, because she had a gay uncle. So it was like, it's the experience that helped her. But I think that a child shouldn't have to be going through all this anxiety and feeling bad. If you just open it up at a young age, not keeping it secret. I think when you keep things secret from kids, it makes them feel like it's a bad thing and they do it in their leisure in private. For example, cuss words. They know it's a bad thing.
Right.
So they go, when you're not around, they start using all of it.
Right, just curse.
Yeah, so
right.
I think if you just open it up to have the conversation, not even just a conversation, but being open about it, they won't feel as, I gotta tell you something, you know what I mean? And it would be easier for parents, and then the children will be closer. And so that's what I think about the whole parenting thing with, you know. What do you think? What do you think about that? Did you ever think about it like that?
And I've never thought about it that way. Only because
I want to open you. I want you to be able to say anything you're thinking. I mean, even if it's something going against what I'm saying.
Right. Only because I think sexuality is a big part of conversation. If you come from a two-parent household, you naturally cultivate your children to think, but you know, heterosexuality. So I would naturally assume that my child would, you know, date the opposite sex. I would just naturally assume that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wouldn't think any other way naturally unless I saw tendencies.
Okay.
And I think sometimes as a mother, we are a little more in tune to our children. And so you tend to have some conversations or little inklings that you may say, or notice some things. But until they act on them or feel them themselves, do you want to sway your child, I think, one way or another. So that's why I was asking, you know, how would you respond? What would be the appropriate response should your child come to you and say, I'm feeling this way? Because I don't want to assume that my child is one way or another if they're not, you know, because I could say they're gay and they're like, be totally appalled and say, what? You know, I'm gay and they're not, or, you know, whatever. So I was thinking if they come to me and say, Mom, I think I'm gay, what will be the appropriate response for me? Should they have the confidence to say? If
they say, Mom, I think I'm gay, I'm like, oh, okay. When did you figure that out?
You know.
Did you always know? I mean, really, if they found the confidence to tell you, they found the confidence to hear the response. And trust me, in our heads, we're thinking the worst, like a smack or a get out. So anything other than that, I think would be good. Seriously, I think when they find the courage to tell you, they're already expecting the worst. It's like the worst feeling. I mean, it was for years. It was really like the movie Get Out. It's just really feeling like that, like trapped inside. And you watch every mannerism and you watch everything you do, everything. It's like a constant, like trying to be something you're not. And it's like, even though you do a bad job at it, you are so anxious everywhere you go. Everywhere.
And see, that's the thing as a parent. That's the one thing I know personally. I never want my child to live live within themselves having that anxiety.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know, so I'm always asking, you know, are you okay? Is there anything we need to talk about? Are you okay? Are you good? So, you know, having this dialogue with you is actually, you know, why I said, okay, I would do it, because some parents, they don't know. They you know, want to be open, but they don't know how to even be open. You know, some are afraid. It's nothing to be afraid of. I think children are definitely a gift, and they were given to us for a reason. And whatever path they choose, you know, we just have to be there for them. And I'm thankful that you were willing to have the conversation.
I think this conversation was important. I mean, you are clearly accepting and, you know, supportive. So it will give a lot of parents that watch a different view and a different way to think about things. And, you know, one thing I always say is that a lot of gay kids and gay children, it's not the fact that, you know, you don't agree with it. It's not the fact that you don't believe in it. It's the fact that you don't sit down and you try to understand. You don't try to talk to me. You don't try to understand. You don't try to ask. They see it and like, okay, back of the head, keep it moving. It's just like dehumanizing someone and making them feel like they're not important enough to acknowledge. Not acknowledging someone and acting like they're not there. That's really what it feels like. Just try to understand me, like, and that's the thing. You don't have to agree. You don't have to agree with, you know, even white and black people don't have to agree. Gay and straight people don't have to agree. It's about sitting down and trying to understand and treating each other like human beings. Don't treat me like a secondary citizen and, you know, stuff like, don't treat me like I'm less than.
Right.
You know, we are all humans. We are all made by God, and He has the last judgment at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So that's all it's about, is trying to understand. And that's why I felt this conversation was important, because even if you don't agree, it's going to be a lot of people that watch this video and don't agree, especially parents. And that's okay.
Absolutely.
That's okay. It's your choice if you want to lose your child, because you're going to lose your child. It's just going to happen. It's no way that you can be so, you know, disdainful and condemn your children for who they are as a person and expect the relationship to be great.
And at the end of the day, take the time to have the conversation. Even if it's the conversation to say, I respect you enough to have the conversation. If it ends with nothing more than thank you for having the conversation, it's worth the time to have it.
So I would like to say thank you to all the people watching, queer, and all the heterosexual and cisgender people, and all the parents out there that are watching this video, because they may see those tendencies in their children that are growing at a young age or at an older age, and you feel like they're holding something out from you. Just be open to have the conversation. Let them know that you are accepting, and even if it's not real, just let it be known. I mean, it goes a long way, just letting people know that you love them and telling them that and reminding them that it may be known. You know, you might think, I don't need to tell this person I love them because they should know, but it really goes a long way acknowledging someone and letting them know, I see you. You know, you are alive, you know, and I see you and I love you and I care about you, and whatever and whoever you are, whatever you identify as, whoever you decide to marry, you're still a human, you're still this and that. That's if you want to keep that person in your life. And, you know, I thank you for all the parents that's watching, and I would like to thank you for opening up and, you know, willing to provide that representation for all those parents out there who may have questions. So I will open this up to ask all those parents out there who may have more questions about, you know, anything they're going through with their child, their nephew, or somebody that they probably want to help or make feel comfortable. Please email me at taydaddymail@gmail.com. I'm going to put it down here. And, you know, I'm not a therapist. I don't have a degree. I just have experience and I have a lot of knowledge, not only with mine, but with my nonprofit where I help a lot of other people with this, you know, conflict. Send me your questions and we may, you know, sit down and talk about it again and give a parent's point of view and, you know, as the child or the person who's actually queer's point of view. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed it.
I did too. Love you. Bye, Taties.
Oh my gosh, Tay-Bees.
Tay-Bees.
Yes, bye, Tay-Bees.